Okay, so we're at boarding ships again. This time we're looking at the Ecliptic Falcata III. Probably an A or B class ship from the size of it. Let's do the outside tour quickly. Graph drive. Looks like a reactor. A docker. Shield generator. Engines. This one could be fuel tanks. Stroud Eckland, apparently, which is like high-end shipbuilders. Let's go on top. Missile launchers. This looks like particle beam or laser weapons, something along these lines. And then we go to the landing bay. So we get into a 1x1 companionway, which leads left and right. We go right first, as it leads to a dead end and the sick bay. Yeah, I think we've seen that a couple of times already. Usual facilities. It's nice that they put the well-being of the crew first. So we go up a level. Again, a companionway, 1x1. There's the door, which leads us into an armory, which we haven't seen that often. You have here weapon racks, where the weapons have mysteriously disappeared. Or maybe they just changed size. You can also have backpacks here, and this is also for backpacks. This is for backpacks. We have a couple of weapon suitcases. Again for the rucksack. This is for the helmet. Here is even a rucksack. This is for the helmet again. Yeah, a lot of storage basically for weapons and ammunition. Which leads us to the cockpit. I quite like this cockpit. Oh yeah, this is again for the turrets, which I already have dispatched of. Quite like this, again with the subdued lights. It has like indirect lights at the bottom, which I find neat. Also on the top there's also the odd indirect lighting. A couple of seats for crew, navigator, communications officer, weapons officer, whatever the case may be. With a full set of controls, it appears. Out of the cockpit seems to be limited when it comes to looking up, but we'll be the judge of that right now. And we take a seat at the helm. So yeah, left and right, I think it's one of the better visibilities we've seen. Up, I think it's a missed opportunity to put in some more glass ceiling here. I mean, not that it really matters, it's just for the vibes. I think it's not bad. But as I said, I preferred if you looked up that you could see more. But I also noticed you can't swivel around once you're flying this vessel in combat, because every movement of the mouse steers the vessel to where you're trying to do. So if you pitch and yaw if you try to look up or down. So does it really matter? No, it's aesthetics. So, but there you go. So this is already the full tour of the vessel. Oh, a little thing I missed last time around. The docker is here on the top, right above this hatch. So now we're looking at the stats. It's an A-class vessel, quite a big reactor for an A-class vessel. Has a crew of 4, shield of 600, leap distance of 30 light years, which is decent, which is very good actually for a vessel this size. And damage output, yeah, I wish it would have more of particle beams, because they take away from the shields faster than ballistic and missiles. Missiles are good, ballistic is, I think, in order. Let's have this. I mean, if you compare it to that, there are worlds in between. This is your starting vessel, okay? Yes, it is the starting vessel, but I think it's the only A-class I have in the hangar to compare it with. Okay, this is technically also an A-class vessel, but, you know, I don't think it's a fair competition, because this one is starborn, so... I mean, if you look at it, the Hyena has a smaller reactor and is a C-class vessel and has a smaller reactor than the Falcata, so yeah, I guess for a Class A vessel, this is also Class A. It has about, you know, the reactor is much smaller, sleep distance is much smaller, crew, everything except the EM damage, but they pay for it in the rockets and the laser, which this one does not even have laser. It's particle beams and ballistic weapons, as well as the missiles. So yeah, cargo hold is not bad. Fuel is probably, yeah, nothing to write home about, but I guess it will do the trick to bring you from one star system to the next. But I think if you intended to travel from one end of the galaxy to the next, this is probably not the vessel to do it in, unless you really like to take the scenic tour and, you know, scenic route and stop every 2 or 3 systems. Yeah, I think that concludes this tour. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you later. Cheers.